Nutrition in Plants, Part 3. Hello friends, how are all of you? I have been looking for an answer to a question. Do plants, animals and microorganisms depend on each other for food and shelter like human beings? What do you think? Today Shankar and Sandeep's teacher taught them about nutrition in plants. Their mind was full of queries about the topic. Their teacher had asked them to do an experiment on fungi. Both of them were engrossed in a conversation about the same while returning from school. Let us see what are the questions in their mind and how do they search for the answers. The objectives of this story are 1. Information about symbiotic relationship. 2. Information about manure. 3. How are nutrients returned to the soil?
I will definitely try the experiment our teacher was telling us about at home. I shall take a piece of bread, wet it a little and keep it in a warm and damp place. I want to observe how does fungi look like. Look, Ramesh Kaka is sowing his field. Let us go and observe him and sit under the shade of the peepal tree.
Hello Ramesh Kaka.
Hello Sandeep. How was your day at school?
Today our teacher told us about fungi. She told us that fungi are very beneficial to farming.
Kaka, I think the plants and trees help each other and depend on each other too. Isn't it, Sandeep? Just like you depend on me to play and go out?
That is correct. By the way, the relationship between fungi and plants is also like friends.
What do you think, Shankar? Is it possible for fungi and plants to be friends?
Do you remember, Sandeep? Last week we saw a beehive. Thinking about honey, my mouth is watering. So you remember that we observed how the bees were sucking nectar from different flowers.
Yes, Shankar, I remember. So honeybees and flowers are also good friends. They help each other.
Like a honeybee sucks nectar from different flowers and in return drops their seeds here and there. Do you remember? We learnt about this last year. This is known as pollination.
Yes, Shankar, you are very sharp. I borrowed a book from the library in school on science. I had read about pollination in it. I also read that in the same way a few creatures live with each other and share their home and food with each other. This is known as symbiotic relationship.
Come, let us look in this book and find out about other species who are dependent on each other for food and shelter.
Friends, why don't all of you also think about examples of symbiotic relationships? The teacher had given the example of fungi and explained that some fungi live in the roots of trees.
So, do the fungi help the trees?
Let us think, Shankar. See, if fungi live in the roots of the trees, then it means the trees give them shelter and, of course, food.
So, what do the fungi give in return?
I think that if fungi help the trees in absorption of water and nutrients from the soil, so this is another example of symbiotic relationship.
What is this on these trees? I have seen the same thing in the pond near my home. It is called kai. Do you remember, Sandeep? Our teacher had told us that it is called lichen. Come, let us read about it in the book.
Both of them looked through the book for the pictures of lichen. Friends, have you ever seen lichen on trees? Look, Shankar, here I'll read it out loud. It looks from these pictures that it is a complete organism which is made up of fungi and algae. Do they also have a symbiotic relationship?
Fungi provides shelter. food, and water to algae.
What does algae return then?
Look, algae has chlorophyll. So, does it also do photosynthesis like green plants?
How shall we find out?
Let us read in the book.
Okay, see it here. It shows algae makes carbohydrates by photosynthesis.
This is also symbiotic relationship, isn't it? Sandeep, do you remember we also put manure in the pots kept in our class?
Yes, Shankar, I remember. The teacher told us that the mineral value of the soil reduces because it is always in use, and hence manure increases the quality of the soil.
Cow dung is also a fertilizer.
But what is the speciality in it?
Cow dung is rich in organic matter.
Sandeep starts reading again, turns a few pages and then reads aloud. See, it is written in this book that some dead plants and animals help in returning organic matter to the soil and increase its fertility.
Oh, is it? It is very interesting.
This is like a chain. Plants and other creatures are dependent on each other for food and shelter. We learnt in this chapter about symbiotic relationship and how nutrients are returned to the soil. So can we say that animals, birds, man and plants are all dependent on each other?